lows in the upper 40s in the north, around 50 in the southern part of the state. Mostly sunny skies for your Monday.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Check, 1, 2.
Turn windy. I'm Jared Cirillo with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
It's offered by Bob McGoldrick.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
If you live near Alex, Alma, Branch, Bloomer, Mountain Burg, or Ozark, Wave Rural Connect Internet may be available to you right now. Wave is now serving a few non-member areas and adding more in the coming months. Check availability online. Sign up.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal.
Call or text today at 479-719-5605.
That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
People in Fayetteville act like to go to Rogers or, Fort Smith or Alma or wherever you can get to in 40 minutes or less from Fayetteville. We act like we're going to Destin. Pack the car. And we act like it's the worst thing in the world if we got to drive from Rogers to Fayetteville or vice. I don't know if I want to go to that game tonight. 7:30. By the time we get out of there, it's going to be 9:30.
Back when I came to school up here, Bentonville might as well have been in Canada.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
People had us in the coffin. They just didn't have all the nails down.
Man, what a night.
How about them Hawks?
What a night. I got to admit, that is one that we are going to talk about for as long as we can remember. I'll just put it that way. And if you think it's that way here, imagine what it's like in Kentucky.
Oh, my gosh.
It was, it was just one of those games and one of those nights that will stand out above all the others.
I told you about my cousin, my dad's cousin.
Yeah.
On the Louisville side.
Yes.
Grew up in Kentucky.
Yes.
And he was texting Pig Suey. He didn't know how to spell it, but he was texting Pig Suey. A lot of Louisville fans were happy. Saturday night.
I've never been in Kentucky on Derby Day. I can only imagine what it's like. But this situation in Lexington on Saturday was unlike anything I'd seen before. Really, it started Friday night when the Razorbacks got to town. And it continued right up until they all started streaming out with about 3 minutes to go in the game. They were bound and determined. They were not going to sit there and watch the end of that ball game when John Calipari beat the Wildcats. They were just not going to stick around to watch it. I've never seen a building empty that quickly while the game was still going on. Now, I've seen...
Especially not a rabid fan base like that.
I can remember when Arkansas beat LSU in triple overtime down there in Baton Rouge. At that point, I'd never seen and still haven't, seen a football stadium empty that quickly. But everyone stayed until the end of the game. It wasn't like they were flooding out because the opposing team was, whipping them.
And it was overtime.
Right.
It
was triple overtime. Yeah.
Play.
And this is like, when Carter Knox threw that dunk down, and I think it was 11 at that point, they just started streaming out. And it was, I will admit, I never turn around. I never turn around. Now, obviously, you can always see what's happening across the floor. But lots of times you have student sections. And I just make it a policy to never turn around, no matter what. But I got to admit, I turned around. And I wanted to see it up close. And I didn't do it for long. But I did. I turned around and I watched. And it was something else.
So the pride for a Razorback fan today is back, at least for a minute. And the smile is, you can only imagine, 100x for the team, the coaches, everybody in the organization that has been feeling this. And it's set up for an Arkansas free shot, and they took full advantage of it. And there's a lot to get into here. But what I mostly want to hear about is you and your experience at the game. You were there, Chuck. I don't think there were many Razorback fans at the game.
Couldn't get tickets.
Primarily because you can't get in. They don't give up their tickets. There are thousands of Kentucky fans that can't get to a regular season game. And this was the Super Bowl. They talked about it being a Super Bowl for Arkansas and Cal coming in there like their biggest game of the year. Hold on a second on this. Kentucky fans were treating it like that, about a 1-6 team. And it was never about 1-6 Arkansas. It was all about Cal. And from the television perspective, Chuck, here's what we all saw. We weren't there. You were. So I want to hear the inside part of this. But on television, it was like when you're watching the Super Bowl, a little bit of pregame, and they're showing all the celebrities there, but they were primarily focused on one guy, not all the celebrities. One celebrity. It was the John Calipari show.
Yeah,
cameras on him nonstop and hundreds of cameras.
I wish everyone could have seen, and you've seen this happen before, Bo. You know how it works, but a lot of people don't. Those camera guys literally sprint across the floor. Like when the clock hits 0, what you didn't see, or maybe you did on television, I don't know, was en masse probably 30 photographers sprinting across the floor to try to get the shot, of Cal and Mark Pope at the end of the game. It was the same way before the game. They had to go ride herd over all the photographers. They had their tripods set up out on the floor. It wasn't just guys with cameras on their shoulders. And they had to go over and start moving people back because you had no room to get out. And, the way Arkansas's locker room, the way the locker rooms are configured at Rupp, the opposing team comes out, and it's not a long tunnel, but it's a tunnel. And the fans are above you, like an NBA arena. And I can tell you, 30 minutes before tip-off, every single person was there, number one. Seats were filled 30 minutes before tip, every one of them. They all had their phones out at the ready. They were not going to miss the shot when Cal came out. And when he walked out on the floor, it was interesting. Where we were down on the floor, the Gucci seats, those are all friends of Cal. They were donors. They're friends of Cal. They stood up and applauded. Now, they didn't, whoop it up or anything like that, but they stood up and applauded. I would say the people that ringed the floor, 2/3 of them stood up and applauded. But they were the only people that were standing up and applauding. It was I don't know how audible it was on television. I can tell you inside the building it was incredibly audible. But
the boo?
Yeah, the boo. Here's the thing, and we'll get into this some more. Cal was in his element.
Oh.
It was obvious. Oh. The bigger the stage, the bigger the moment, that's when the stars shine brightest. Sometimes, you talk about gamers, how the brighter the lights, the better they play. I was struck by how back in his element John Calipari was. And I don't mean back in Kentucky. I mean back on the biggest stage. Now, look, we've got a big stage at Bud Walton Arena, a stage that a lot of people envy, most envy. It's not Kentucky's stage in basketball, just like it's not Alabama's stage in football. I'll go so far as to say that Kentucky basketball fans are even more rabid than Alabama football fans. I don't believe that's an overstatement. But the stage was big, and the lights were bright, and he was the show. And I think he reveled in that. And I think it brought out the best in him. The one thing that everyone focused on was going to be the crowd reaction. And this didn't really dawn on me until Friday night. We went to the arena when we got there. And it was a zoo. I mean, there were people everywhere. But, man, that was a big stage. And you could tell he loved it. I mean, you could tell he just loved it. And I was just chatting briefly, very briefly, with Adu Thero out on the floor. And he said to me, and I'll always remember this, he said, I've played lots of games here. He said, I know this court as well as anybody. And it just kind of clicked that these guys are back in their element. For the players, it was playing on the floor where they'd played the entire season a year ago. For Cal, it was being on the main stage. This was the talk of college basketball. It's the only reason people watched the game was the theater. Because, look, John Calipari knows the theater. He understands how the game is played from a media perspective. And I'll go so far, and I don't believe this is overstating it, the John Calipari era, in many respects, began Saturday night. And in many respects, the Mark Pope era began too. Kentucky fans are not going to look at him the same way they did before the ball game tipped off. Maybe ever again. At least not until he beats Cal. And so
this is a Michigan-Ohio State
situation. It really is.
Real quickly.
I'm going to be interested to see if Kentucky recovers from this. They got to go to Ole Miss midweek. And I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Now, obviously the question for us is what's going to happen with Arkansas moving forward. Can you build off this? There's a path to the NCAA tournament now. As John Rothstein tweeted out yesterday, Arkansas has got a road win at Rupp and a neutral court win over Michigan. And there are teams on the bubble right now that can't boast that. So they're back in the hunt. Now, they're still on the outside looking in, but they got a puncher's chance now.
Well, we saw what they can be for maybe the second or third time this year, and this time without Boogie Fland. It's not lost on me, and I think to your point, when they're on the biggest stage, they play the best. The other game they played similar to this one, they scored 89 points in that game as well, and it was at Madison Square Garden.
Exactly.
The world's most famous arena. I mean, now you're at Kentucky. It's a similar situation. That's what these guys are used to.
That's right.
And they just have to play that way all the time. Not necessarily shoot 55%, but play like they're capable of playing. Here's why I thought they had a shot in this game. For all the reasons you laid out, but also because it was a free shot and the pressure wasn't all on them. They could just go play. But most importantly, I just didn't feel like, and still don't feel like, this team is going to shoot as poorly as they have most of the season. At some point, they're going to get some confidence. And they have too good of players on this team for shots not to start falling. And you don't have to have all the shots. You just can't miss all the shots. But if you've ever played basketball at any level, Making a couple of shots does what? Changes everything. Changes how hard you play, changes how you feel about your teammates, changes about how you get up and down the floor. The vibe and the feel and the confidence is completely different. And the way they knocked down some early shots, it was like game on.
No doubt. When Nelly hit that first three, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be fun.
Then they hit another one.
Yeah, and of course, Kentucky at the start of the game, they weren't missing anything. And the first TV timeout wasn't until under 15. It was supposed to, there wasn't a play stoppage. They were just up and down, and everybody was making shots. But, hey, it's a heck of a game. I was privileged to be there, and there were not many Razorback fans, but the ones that were there had a good time. Hey, let me say this before we go to a break. Met a young man. I'm going to guess 12, 13 years old. He lives in northern Kentucky. Dressed in Razorback gear. Listens to the Chuck and Bo Show.
Is that right?
Yeah. So there were Razorback fans there. There was a row of people. There's a row of people down from us. He was at the coaches show last week, Cal show. I think they paid about $2,000 per to sit where they were in like the third row, right across from the Arkansas bench. So there were some Razorback people there.
That's awesome.
It was fun.
Yeah, that's a good time. 877-377-6963 if you want to call or text. It's in the 50s as you wake up across the great state, the winning state of Arkansas, where your hearts are touched this morning.
Hey, they got a lot of things to brag about in Kentucky, but they can't say a thing about beating the Razorbacks Saturday.
There was a lot to say before the game.
Oh, yeah.
They had a lot to say before the game. This was just exactly, as a Razorback fan, what you needed to see happen, just to warm your heart. You can get in here if you want. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, where you always bank better. Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric, locally owned and operated. The Fayetteville Auto Park, 25 years, the 25th anniversary of the Fayetteville Auto Park, because it's Arkansas's one-stop automotive place. And Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978. Back in a minute. It is 6:16 on a Make a Point Monday. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Pasco pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopasco.com today to schedule your service. Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
When you bank at First Security, you're choosing better for yourself and fellow Arkansans. Better service from friendly professionals who really invest in your goals. Better solutions with convenient tools and smart resources. And better support for the things that matter to you, as well as the communities that matter to us all. Because finding your better at First Security makes Arkansas better too. First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
2025 is here, and Fayetteville Auto Park is making it easier than ever to elevate your drive during our New Year's sale. Every pre-owned vehicle, hundreds and hundreds to choose from, all with clearance pricing for a limited time. That's right, Fayetteville Auto Park has clearance priced every used car, truck, and SUV in stock. One-owner trades, budget buys, luxury vehicles, off-lease cars, even certified pre-owned, with special finance rates and warranties up to 100,000 miles. Buy now at all 4 Fayetteville Auto Park locations. That's Acura of Fayetteville, Honda of Fayetteville, Toyota of Fayetteville, and Chevrolet of Fayetteville. It's time to drive in 2025, and no one makes it easier than Fayetteville Auto Park. Take advantage of clearance pricing on every pre-owned vehicle now during our New Year's sale. Limited time only at Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
On a cattle ranch, calves aren't only raised by their mother, they're raised by a community of farmers, ranchers, and veterinarians committed to giving them the healthiest, most comfortable life possible. Because for cattle farmers, ranchers, and the moms of those baby calves, animal welfare is the top priority. Together, we bring more. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. This message courtesy of the Arkansas Beef Council and Beef, it's what's for dinner.com.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. How to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning and take that as a win by just resisting. And sorry I put it in your head, but just resist the urge.
You're assuming I have it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, you said something a minute ago before we had to Cecil's call about how, you know, they played well in Rupp and did virtually the same thing in New York City against Michigan. If this team can get to the tournament, and now that's a big if. Now there's a path. There's a path, and we're going to talk about that today. But if they can get there, I'd like to see what they can do. Because we saw this group make some plays Saturday night around the rim, finishing at the rim, that maybe 5-10% of the players in college basketball can make. I mean, Thero at the rim, Carter Knox at the rim. They were doing things that, you know, most basketball players, even at a high level, aren't doing every night.
DJ?
Yeah. I mean, they were all doing it.
You know, Adu, Carter Knox, Avicic, Nelly, DJ Wagner, Billy Richmond had a couple of moments. Everybody had a couple.
Richmond's
you know how athletic Brazil is, and this season is not over for Adu. And he's going to have, when he breaks out, when he plays well, these guys can play, man. They can play. And that's what's been so puzzling about the season. But we've talked about sometimes you got to kind of work your way into it, get a feel for each other. Cal has to get a feel for this group. They're all new to Arkansas. But, man, you saw the upside.
Oh, yeah.
You saw the upside on Saturday night. Cecil, good morning. What's happening, buddy?
How much time I got?
Well, enough time for you to say what you want to say.
Let's find out how long you can hold the audience.
Say, Chuck.
Say it.
Hey, look, man. Look. I don't know if y'all really know, but I'm like 1,000% Hog fan. I've been like that all my life. And this is the thing, though. I'm, just watching Coach come out, man, that was a lot of freaking guts, man. And that made me even love that man more because he kept his poise. I could tell when he came out. Man, that's hard to come into place right after, not even a year, and come right into a place where you've been a quarter of your life. You know what I'm saying? And he did that. And then our record didn't even speak for nothing, but, hey, we just coming in here in red and white and a couple of fans with Chuck. and that's all we had. But
John Tyson behind the bench.
They balled up. Oh, they balled out. They balled out, and they played really good. And I'm gonna say this, and y'all don't get me wrong when I say this, but things happen for reasons. Okay, and it took a couple of games to understand the rotation, how they were really playing together, because if Boogie Flam was still in the lineup, the offense would be totally different. I know I'm right. Y'all ain't got to say nothing. I'll say it for you. Because the thing, hey, Chuck, you know it. You ain't got to say nothing. Because you got to be around them people all the time. But look, the thing about it is, it's a whole different flow. They playing really good basketball. And then they press the ball. Just going in there, the ones that played last year, man, they like, man, we ain't letting these guys beat us. You know, DJ Wagner balled out. I told you Big Z got to be in the game. Big Z played great, man. He played great. He was knocking them down. And Nelly, I'm gonna take the brakes off a little bit. I'm gonna put it in first gear with Nelly now. When he hit the shot, Nelly hit that shot. I'm like, uh-oh. And then here come Kentucky, wham. And then we came back, bam, Big Z, whop. I'm like, oh man. Then we missed a couple of times. You know, then we put the pressure on. I haven't looked at any box scores. I know a Big Z, DJ Wagner, who else?
Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you. Thero, and I'll just go points. Thero had 21. Wagner had 17.
Okay.
Nelly had 18. Big Z had 14, and Carter Knox had 10. That's 5 guys in double figures.
Now, yeah, okay. So the thing about that is, anytime you're winning a basketball game, that's how the stats will look all the time. It might be 4-1 or 5-5 in double figures every time. It ain't got to be like high numbers, 10, 15, 17, 20. You're going to have a high point, man. But, man, they play really good basketball, and they're going to continue to play just like that now. And if Boogie Flam was still in the rotation, it would be different because it would be the same. He need to drink one of those big Red Bulls like I do. When I don't have my gusto going,
oh man,
go to the store, put it in your bag, get the biggest one they sell. Adu don't have. Man, I looked at him, man. He just don't. He don't feel like he want to play basketball. He's just there for the. I don't know, man. But anyway, this is the thing about that. He's tall. That's all. He's just tall.
Well, right he got a little more than that. He's just not in his zone.
You need to hammer. Hold on. You need to hammer Adu like you did Nelly last week, and then he's going to turn it around.
Okay, I'm letting you know he need a Red Bull. He didn't have any. He no effort at all. So sit his butt down. We trying to play basketball and win.
Well, they did.
Tell you what else
he only played 9.5 minutes.
Coach, that's too many minutes.
Well, compared to what everybody else played,
on the boards. He didn't do nothing.
He sat. He played the least
all he did was
minutes.
Then he took the,
all right, what were you going to say about Coach Cal? What were you going to say about Coach Cal?
He shouldn't have played at all. Coach Cal could have put that boy from Fairview in that walk-on. He probably would have did better than Adu. Adu took the man down to the ground, almost killed him for nothing. That's crazy. But anyway.
All right. All right, Cecil.
Hey, but Coach Cal, and I'm quoting Coach Cal on this one right here, fellas. He said, and he licked his lips when he said it. I watched him do it. He said, it might take to February for us to get where we need to be and winning some games. And bam, there it is. Because Oklahoma ain't supposed to beat us. And they won another pretty good game Saturday, but Oklahoma shouldn't have beat us, man.
Yeah, they're playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, actually.
All right, Cecil, thanks.
David's in Searcy. Hey, David, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, guys. I'm going to go ahead and confess, and it's hard for me to do. I almost called in Friday and gave you a couple of reasons, 2 or 3 reasons why we had no chance to win the ball game. Okay? And I may not be the only guy out there, but I am going to admit it. And it was very simple. I'm not a pessimist. I try to always look on the bright side. But this team could not beat Kentucky because you have to shoot the basketball in order to win basketball games. And they had already proven they could not do that. So I wasn't even nervous about the ball game, and that is totally not me. And what happened? My Lord. First thing you know, I got buddies texting me and stuff. Look at this, look at this. I still didn't get nervous, didn't get excited because I still knew that sometime Kentucky was going to go on a 10, 12, 14-0 run and win the game, so there's still no need to get excited. Well, that's my confession. That was one of the greatest Razorback performances I have ever seen on the basketball floor. And you say, wait a minute, we won a national championship. No, I said one of the greatest performances. Shooting, hustling, rebounding, spirit, effort. It honestly was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. And I had guys texting me after the game, oh, man, how great. Now we might could this, we might could that. I told them, shut up. I don't care. I'm good. I have never been more proud of a basketball team simply because of what it did for our program. It shut up some people who were being extremely rude, as people can be. And I gave it the equivalence of maybe way a long time ago in a book. A real strong man messed up, and he was in great prominence, and he messed up. And he had a great fall. And they were making fun of him. They were ridiculing him, and he looked up and he said, Lord, just give me one more bit of strength, and I may go out with them, but I'll be okay. Well, that's kind of what I thought about right there at the end of the game. We may not do much more the rest of the season, but by golly, we got what we needed right now, and I'm good. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks, David. I didn't see the Sampson reference coming, but Arkansas did take the Hog fans for a ride, and a great ride, on Saturday night in Lexington.
Well, and speaking of great rides, what a perfect segue for me to talk about fans. It's like it was planned.
It was too good.
Yeah,
it was like a dad setup.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, kids.
Fayetteville Auto Park. You know, you're just talking about them a lot. Part of it is because they got great automobiles. I mean, they certainly catch your eye. That Silverado pickup, you see it going down the road. It's hard not to look at. Yeah. You also get great deals, and you want that, clearly, when you go buy a new car, truck, or SUV. But, you know, you also get what I call that common touch. That's what separates Fayetteville Auto Park from everybody else, whether it's service after the sale, oil change, whether it's something bad, like, you know, you get a fender bender and you got to go in and get it all fixed, and you got to tie it up with your insurance and all that. This is what they do at Fayetteville Auto Park. They really are your one-stop automobile headquarters. They've got great brands, Honda, Acura, Chevy, Toyota, but they've got great people, and that's what separates them. Exit 67A in Fayetteville or FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
More of your thoughts coming up at 6:32 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Monday morning, good morning.
Like, I think you should look at yourself today in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me?
Okay, I will.
I'm not talking about you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes.
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, coming into the game is Matt Jones. And that brings the crowd to its feet. They love this guy here in Arkansas. How about this? Campbell actually thought he had that dunk, and now he's just frustrated. Jones! Why not? Look at the smile. And this place is wild about Matt Jones.
Listen to Halftime, weekdays from 11 to 2, only on ESPN 95.3.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted Best Garage Door Company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
At Hug Chevrolet Buick GMC, we dial 782-8940.
This is Joe Calderera with Taliano's Restaurant. We call 782-8940.
Keep warm this winter with a York high-efficiency furnace. Or for more information on endless hot water and a high-efficiency tankless water heater, give Blaylock Heating, Air, and Plumbing Services a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
A new era of chicken is here to stay, and it's not your parents' poultry. The Cantina Chicken menu from Taco Bell is slow roasted and perfectly seasoned. Take it tacoed up in a crispy white corn tortilla with cheese inside and out, or wrapped in a burrito with fresh purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. However you like it, you'll never chicken the same way again. Get yours today at your nearest Taco Bell and join rewards to earn free food. Available at participating stores. Rewards points are earned on qualifying purchases. All items while supplies last. Subject to terms.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you in the market for a new office printer or multifunction device? Look no further. At Dixie Digital Imaging, we bring a legacy of experience and a rock-solid reputation. Our state-of-the-art solutions are tailored to meet your business needs seamlessly. Why settle for anything less? Call us now at 479-783-6600 to get a quote on your next office printer or multifunction device. Elevate your office efficiency with Dixie Digital Imaging, where experience and reputation meet excellence. That's Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. And stop by any of the 6 JamMart locations in the area. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Hey everybody, this is Tyson Van. Dad, tell everyone about your job at Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash.
Power washing, son. I've been working in the business for over 15 years, all over the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, residential or commercial. At Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash, our cleaning services include exterior home, fence, driveways, walkways, gutters, pool deck cleansing, and more.
Call my dad at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Hey, Ty Richardson here at First Financial Mortgage, my mortgage lender, Ethan Adamson. Ethan, congratulations, over 300 five-star reviews.
Yeah, Ty, we pride ourselves on delivering a five-star service during the entire mortgage process.
What sets you apart from everyone else?
I think communication, how quickly we work, we get you closed on time or early. Call 479-782-9300. Weekdays 8 to 5, ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
You did.
But I spewed it out.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck is basking in the glow of an empty Rupp Arena as it just became vacant rather quickly.
Z was the one that was really, he was giddy.
We'll play some of that
watching him pour out of there.
Let's go to Deer. We haven't heard from
the home of the Antlers.
The home of the Deer Antlers.
Yeah.
Craig is there. Haven't heard from Craig in a while. Craig, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Morning, fellas.
Hey, Craig.
Great show, by the way.
Thank
you. Hey, all I'm going to say is we hose Tennessee hoses Arkansas opening game, hoses them. Then Florida hoses us. Kentucky comes into our house and beats us. So I'm thinking Saturday morning, and Tennessee's down to 7 scholarship players. One of them hadn't played all year. Florida's coming to our gym thinking, no way, we're going to get steamrolled. Well, we win. And I'm thinking, no way Arkansas has a shot in Kentucky if you say who beat who, and they play the freaking best game of the year. My son was at the game, had seats right behind Adu, ironically. His wife's the boss is a big Kentucky booster, and I watched him on TV more than I did the game, actually. But all I'm going to tell you, if you're going to gamble, if you got enough money to gamble on college basketball, you got more money than Elon Musk. I would rather play a scratch-off at a gas station than gamble on college basketball because it makes no freaking sense. It makes no sense. But that was definitely the best game the Razorbacks have played since I've been watching them, and since I've been here. So kudos to you. That was a big win, but I'm done with gambling on basketball. I'll tell you that. Y'all have a good day.
All right. Thanks for the call. I was just looking at the standings as Craig was talking, and you talked about there being a path to the NCAA tournament earlier, and we've heard over and over again the SEC is going to get 13 teams in. So if you look at it that way and you start looking at the SEC standings, Arkansas is basically 2 games back from like 3rd or 4th place in the league. I mean, you got Auburn up there undefeated 8-0, Alabama's 8-1, Missouri 6-2 along with A&M, and then you got Florida and Tennessee and Ole Miss with 5 wins. Arkansas is 3 games out of having 5 wins. They're 3 games back right now. They're 2 games back from several teams ahead of them with 4 wins.
If you beat Texas Wednesday night, you're even with them in the loss column. They've not had their open week yet. So Arkansas has played 1 less game than Texas has. But if you win that game, you're even in the loss column with them there. 7 of the last 10 games are quad 1 games. Right now, Mississippi State is 31st in the net. For it to be a quad 1 win at home, they've got to be top 30. It's top 50 on a neutral, top 75 on the road. That qualifies as a quad 1 win. So Mississippi State right now would not be a quad 1 win if they were to play them today and beat them. Might be then. Who knows? Texas right now is 25th in the net. Arkansas jumped to 47th. We have reached the time of the year, and I don't like doing this, but we've reached the time of the year when we've got to pay attention to the net. I mean, really pay attention to it. Now, I don't believe they're going to.
If you don't know what that is, that's the ranking that factors everything.
It's the computer
in
rankings, what I call it.
Spits out. This is where the team is actually ranked in the country.
Now, whether you like that system or not, it's irrelevant. I got problems with it, quite honestly, but it's our system. And so that's what you must pay attention to now. If Arkansas can go 5-5 in their last 10 games, they are a lock, stone cold to get in.
Say that one more time.
If they go 5-5 in their last 10, I believe they're a lock to get into the NCAA tournament at 7-11. If you really look at what's out there right now, Wednesday night's a big game. It's not a must game. Look at the last 5 games of the season. Look at what Arkansas has got right there and the opportunity to get some wins. And, I mean, Vanderbilt on the road is going to be a quad 1 game. Missouri at home is going to be a quad 1 game.
You're at South Carolina.
That's not a quad 1 game.
The last 5 games, Missouri at Bud Walton, Texas at Bud Walton, at South Carolina, at Vanderbilt, Mississippi State at Bud Walton.
Depending upon what happens with Mississippi State, that's a potential for 4 quad 1 games right there. And the win at Kentucky changes a lot of things. And it makes a bid possible. Now, when you dig as big a hole as they've dug, you don't have a lot of margin for error getting out. Now, I don't think the SEC is going to get 13 teams. I think they'll get 12. I think 11 of the 12 that get first-round buys at the conference tournament will be stone-cold locks. and that last spot may come down to Arkansas and Georgia. You have to think about the number of at-large bids out there. There are 37 of them. For the SEC to get 13 bids, that means 12 at-large bids. That means a third of your at-large bids going to one conference. There's going to be a big outcry on that, and I'm not sure the selection committee is actually going to pull that trigger. But I think 12's a given, maybe 13. 6 and 12 could get you in. We got to remember, there have been, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. There have been teams that had those type records out of the ACC and the Big East in the past that have gotten in. And I think that could happen this year. But I think 7 and 11, you are a lock to get in. And that's where they've got to get to.
Well, this is a big road game at Texas. And then you get Alabama here, who is 8-1 in the league. Obviously, a quad one game.
See, I think Arkansas could go 0-2 this week and still get in. I'm not saying I think it's going to happen. I'm not saying I want it to happen. Now, if you sweep Texas, you know.
They play them twice.
Play them twice. No guarantee they'll be top 30 in the net when they get here. They're 25th right now. It's definitely quad one Wednesday night. Could be when you play them at home. But you could lose twice this week and still get in.
Your biggest home game is coming up Saturday night. In terms of the best team you're going to play at Bud Walton is coming up Saturday. And it's a night game, and it's at home.
That's right.
877-377-6963. More of your calls coming up on the Chuck and Bo Show. 646. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations, Coach.
Yeah, I made some good calls today.
You sure did. You sure did.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today by correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
So I spent yesterday, you mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, this is Dr. Cole Johnson at River Valley Smile Center. You hear my partner, Dr. Charles Liggett, at 12:15 on halftime every Monday. Dr. Liggett and I have worked at River Valley Smile Center together for 11 years now. Like the Hogs, we have a great team. Do you have a unique dental procedure, a complex dental problem, or are you just nervous about dental work? Come see me for sedation dentistry, implants, implant-supported dentures, as well as cosmetic dentistry. We are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith at the River Valley Smile Center. Check us out online at rivervalleysmiles.com or call 479-646-0706.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jasco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. What all y'all service here at Jasco?
Logos, we do food trucks, cars, we do custom banners, signs for big and small businesses. We do logos, stickers, you name it, we just about do it all right here at Jasco. Jasco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jasco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you adhere to a budget, Chuck?
Not as well as I should.
Yeah, same.
Some people are like that.
I admire those people. I'm not one of them. I need to get on that plane.
I need to get on that plane, too.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas basketball assistant Chuck Martin's going to join us at 8:30 this morning to relive the happenings there in Lexington that Chuck has eloquently spoken of today. But the best part of the game for Chuck was the Kentucky fans fleeing the building.
Well, maybe not the best part, but it was a good part. It was a good part.
JR's in Shady Grove. JR, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Morning, guys.
Hey, JR.
You know what? I really thought the best part about that game Saturday night was just how they played together, cohesive as a unit, you know, communicating with each other on the floor. You know, it seemed like they were all in it to win it right till the end. But, Chuck, I got a question for you.
All right.
When you're sitting at courtside, is it me or does it just seem like calling traveling is out the window in college basketball?
Yeah, they pretty much let you do whatever you want right now in terms of and we got some players that push that rule too.
Oh yeah. It's everybody. It's everybody.
It is.
So I just wanted to know if you see that as much as we do.
Yeah.
Well, the NBA is the
JR.
worst. I mean, if you go watch NBA games or just you can find them on social where people have clipped them. I mean, it's like,
well, it is crazy.
It's hard to imagine.
I think they let it go a little too much in college now. Now, I don't believe that you should go back to the old way of calling traveling at every time it's technically traveling. I do think the game's evolved, and I do think freedom of movement makes the game more enjoyable from a scoring perspective. So, and look, we got 2 or 3 of them. Every time they get the ball, they travel. They just do. I mean, they do. And every time Arkansas plays somebody,
unless they call
no,
it.
you're right. And we got 2 or 3 guys on other teams every game. Every time they get the ball, they travel. But they don't call it anymore, so you're right. It's not traveling. But the old school definition, it would be traveling.
The thing is, like, traveling's gone out the window, but you got to watch those technical fouls, those flagrant fouls. Those are more prominent than traveling. We got to review all kinds of things.
When they were reviewing a play at the 106 mark in a 12-point game, I mean, it's like, it was a long delay. They were trying to figure out what happened in that little skirmish over there. But here's the thing about that skirmish. If all this started because Billy Richmond came in the game, and then they pulled him out, and Cal said, no, the wrong guy came out. They were trying to put Billy back in after he'd come out before the ball went back into play, and Cal was saying, no, the wrong guy came off the floor. And I said, doesn't matter. Billy came out of the game. And so they've got this going. I'm not going to criticize the officials for that, but I think if they'd let Billy stay in the game, none of that would have happened. None of that would have happened. But that's neither here nor there now.
Charlie is in Camden. Charlie, go ahead.
Yes,
Quickly.
I will tell you, Chuck. I will tell you, Billy was really controlling his emotions during the game. I just got to tell you, after the game, he was like, no, I'm just joking.
Well, Cal
No,
got
Cal got on him.
It was funny.
Cal got on him.
He sure did. It wasn't just him, though. I've seen a few others go by there and was saying, but look, these Kentucky fans, they said some things. So, those kids, look, I think a lot of people have pointed out that, those kids, they went in there and they played for Cal. But I will say this. To me, I've watched a lot of the games this year, and Chuck, you've seen them all. They haven't lacked effort at all this year. I think finally, the ball went into the basket a little bit.
That's exactly
Sometimes people think when you're not playing well, you're not trying. And that's not true. In fact, I want to talk some more about that later in the show.
Almost 7 o'clock. More of this to come. Hang in there. Chuck and Bo Show.
You know the sound. You know the place. And you know the time of year that means live racing at Oaklawn is coming. If your Oaklawn is playing favorites, letting it ride on long shots, or just soaking up the vibes of race day, it's time to make your plans and discover your Oaklawn. Live racing starts Friday, December 6th. Reserve seats, rooms in our hotel, or a spot in your favorite Oaklawn restaurant at oaklawn.com.
This is my Oaklawn.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
I want Texas to lose. Yeah, I want them to rot in hell.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our highs this afternoon will be into the lower 70s, clear to partly cloudy, upper 40s overnight. Tuesday, I think we'll see just a slight chance of a little rain, otherwise partly sunny. Highs on Tuesday into the upper 60s. Wednesday, a chance of showers in low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Hey,
Hey, Ty Richardson for American Patriot Promotions. They have their Berryville Gun Show coming up Saturday, February 15th and Sunday, February 16th at the Carroll County Fairgrounds in Berryville. Tickets are just $10 per person for the entire weekend. Only $8 for veterans, military, police, and first responders. Children 16 and under are free. For more information, go to AmericanPatriotPromotions.com.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me. But what happens when big hospitals and insurance companies ask too much of them and make them work too many hours without enough help? You can only stretch something so far before it breaks and people get hurt or even die. That's where I come in. If the healthcare system in our area has hurt you or someone you love, call me. Together, let's make them do healthcare better. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Dumps it underneath. Golden shot blocked by Brazil.
Oof. Oof.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I know about 5 people who rooted for the Chiefs. Well, before the Mahomes, Kelsey,
it
Andy
doesn't
Reid
matter.
thing.
But they are America's team now.
No, they're not.
Well, what is America's team?
The Cowboys.
America's team is when you jump on the bandwagon.
The Cowboys. Some of us still love America. You guys can just move on with whatever the fashionable thing is these days. But some of us still actually love our country.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now, Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits. Can you believe it?
Goodbye.
And they are streaming toward the exits in Rupp Arena.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, they are streaming toward the exits.
Yeah,
wow.
They did not play good tonight. They look like a bad team
Wow.
tonight. And the Hogs made them look that way. And when you get blown out at home, it isn't no fun.
I got to hear it one more time.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits.
it's
Can you
awesome.
believe it?
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So funny.
Think there was a little trash being talked there. That is radio trash talk right there. That is trash talk from the hometown broadcasters right there.
Listen, you guys have called your fair share of games that were no fun to call. That was not one of them. So enjoy it. Congrats.
You know, the thing about Rupp Arena is it's built, if you've been in there, I mean, it's the stands are straight up. I mean, if you're in the upper deck, top row, I mean, you got clouds passing between you and the floor. And so when they all leave, it looks like they're literally pouring out of the building because they're all walking straight down. And they were, mass exodus is a pretty good way to put it. They were fighting to get out.
Hogs won.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about it, but the Hogs won 89-79. Second time they've scored 89 points this year. The first time was against Michigan. I don't know. They may have scored 89 in some other game that I'm unaware of, but the two biggest wins of the year, they've scored 89 points. And just, okay, real quick before we go back to calls. Here's from an article in the paper last week. A shooting resurgence would be the biggest key for Arkansas's turnaround. We all knew that, right? But the Hogs were shooting a league low 36.8% in conference play. 38.6. From three, they were last in the league, making 24.8% of their shots. On Saturday night, Arkansas shot 55% from two and 52% from three. Only went to the foul line 16 times. Which you would think, you might have to go more, but they shot it so well. Meanwhile, Kentucky shot it great.
They did.
They shot it 48% from two, 44% from three. They only made 9 of 18 free throws. They shot 50% from the foul line. The Hogs were +6 in the turnovers. They were 18-5 on fast break points. And let me just give you a couple stat lines of players. Thiero, 21 points and 7 rebounds. John L. Davis, 18 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. Wagner had 17. Avicic had 14 and hit a huge 3 when Kentucky had cut it to 6. I mean, Arkansas made shots when they had to, and Carter Knox was all over the floor. This freshman, what you thought was going to be a phenom, started to look like it on Saturday night. 4 of 7, 2 of 3 from 3, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. I mean, dang, that was the team you thought that you were going to get when Cal was introduced as the Arkansas head coach with no players.
Well, they just everybody contributed. He's talked about that. How we got to have everybody contribute. And I know Adu didn't have this, didn't have a great game, but when you win games like this, there's always a player or two out there that you go back and you look at, and we talked about some of them. We'll talk about more, but everyone that played, with the exception of Adu, and it'll be the exception rather than the rule, I think, with him going forward. But everybody else had a moment, whether it was a Billy Richmond dunk or Brazile hitting a 3. They all had moments.
Let's go to the phones. It's 7:07 Monday morning. The Hogs have beaten Kentucky. They're 2-6 in conference play, but suddenly all kinds of things seem possible. Eddie is in Clarksville. Eddie, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. What a big win for this team in this season. Last couple of weeks, I've been going down memory lane. This is who we are as a program. And suddenly, like a lightning bolt strikes, like an oil rig strikes oil, this team found each other. To go into that environment, you could argue this was the biggest, most anticipated game in Kentucky basketball history. Sold out capacity crowd. The governor down there, too. I mean, they threw everything at Coach Cal and our players. Blues, T-shirts. I seen, sweatshirts with clown noses on Coach Cal.
That's right.
But that's not how the story, it's supposed to have been a hog roast, but that's not how the story would be written. And this program is rich again, and I just feel it running through my veins now. I mean, when you look at the past, but fans don't look and media don't look at the past. And when you look at the SEC now, I would argue we're the second best overall. the second best program in this league, next to Kentucky. And if you think this is the first time we beat Kentucky, you better put some, little sugar in your coffee. We beat some of the most formidable teams ever put together. And let me say this is a long, rich legacy. And for fans now, when you hear me talk about moments in time, this will be a moments in time moment for you. And never take it for granted. Because these players have lived up to their billing, their expectations. They went in and played as a team, and they played with heart. And they were fearless. I'll tell you what, as Coach Cal said, I told them to go out and play fearless. And boy, did they do it. And you go against that. I mean, if you don't let Amari Williams lean in the players, I thought he got, Kentucky got the benefit of officiating. That's for sure. Calling flagrants on us, hey, let them play basketball. You talk about Amari Williams. If you don't let him lean in the players and knock them down under the basket, let me tell you something. This team, woo, they deserve a whistle blow today. And I don't know how the rest of the season's going to go, but I'll tell you this team had lived up to their billing. They got a big win. To go in an environment like they did Saturday night, nobody picking them to win except themselves and their coaches. And, maybe a few of our fans. A couple calls back, I was feeling apathy. I told you put that in your book, Chet. Even the most passionate fans can feel apathy. But this team, that's not how it's going to end this season. They're going to write a new book. And it started Saturday night in Rupp Arena. And tell you how I'm feeling this morning. Woo! When you talk about let's just be gracious. Let me go down memory lane when I talk about legacy, baby. I'm going to do it one more time. 1981 in the Midwest Regional. A young man from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Ulyss Reed, hit the half-court shot to beat the defending national championship. Let me tell you this. In 1984, Big Charles Valentine to beat the best player, maybe all time, Michael Jordan. And Carolina was sent him.
Why are we going down memory lane?
64, baby. Let me tell you this. Woo!
There it is.
You talk about Phi Slamma Jamma, Big Joe Klein.
My God.
And, we went to work on them that day. You talk about Clyde Drexler, Akeem the Dream. Well, we were victorious with the final buzz.
I can't. Eddie, we've got a new memory. Why are we doing the old ones?
Let me say this. But people don't want to. It's what you do today. And that's why I'm talking about legacy. And then you talk about Scotty Thurman to hit the shot to beat Duke to win a national championship. And we've been to the Final Fours, and we won national championship runner-up. I don't know how the rest of the season's going to go. I'm going to say we're going to make the tournament because they found each other. And you go into that environment and without not a team, it looked like a team. We were running the court, rocking shot, and slamming it home. And I want two songs played today. Quick them up for me, baby. AC/DC. It's a long climb to the top if you want to rock and roll. And these players and our coaches were rocking and rolling and Rupp Arena Saturday night. And that other song I went to, woo! Nickelback. We all want to be, put this in your book, Chuck. We all want to be rock stars. And these players played like rock stars Saturday night at Rupp Arena. And we coached like, woo! I think he got out coach Mark Pope.
Thank you, Eddie. I was waiting for it to get somewhere, and it got there.
Finally we got to the
We
music.
finally got there.
We had to rehash every big win before we got there.
Documentary on the history of Arkansas basketball.
Put this in your book, Chuck.
I thought he said put it in your book.
Yeah, I don't know if he said buck or book or what.
Book.
Well, but it came out buck.
Nickelback sounds better when you put a woo right before it, doesn't it? Like, now I can deal with it. Here you go. By request, we are playing the request this morning. Get yours in, 877-377-6963. If you got a long-distance dedication, we'll do that too. It's 7:13 on the Chuck and Bo Show. 877-377-6963.
Hey, if 2025's bringing changes for you, maybe you're downsizing your home, maybe you're upsizing. Let me recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, to you. Maybe it's the first time out, or maybe you've got a family member like Bo did who's looking to buy a home. First time out of the chute. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been my partner for a long time, and the word partner really applies because when you're buying a home, chances are it's the most money you've ever spent. It's a big deal. And there's a lot of hoops to jump through sometimes. You need a pro that understands maybe all the things you qualify for, maybe an incentive you didn't know was there. That's what trained real estate professionals do. That's why when we say get you from contract to close, it's more than just a phrase because there are real steps that have to be taken in that process. You are going to always find someone with your best interests at heart when you deal with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978. Washington County, Benton County, Fort Smith, Branson. And you can check out their selection of homes at WeicherGriffin.com.
Going to get up to the 70s today, Chuck.
It's unbelievable.
Yesterday, I took a walk around Lake Fayetteville. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
I bet there were a lot of people out there.
What a time to be in Arkansas. Oh, my gosh, there were so many people.
Did anybody say, hey, what about that game on
You
Saturday
could just see it on
night?
everyone's face. Yeah. Everyone's
Life's
face.
better when the Hogs win.
Yeah. Wonder what Kentucky fans did yesterday.
Contemplated.
Yeah. How great is your coach now, the Pope that you're following?
I just wonder.
Let's see.
In all seriousness,
if they turn on this guy.
I said this the last hour. I think in a lot of ways the Cal era began here, and I think in a lot of ways the Pope era began there. I don't know which way they're going to go the rest of this year. They were devastated by what happened Saturday night. I'm just going to tell you, they were devastated. They did not see that coming. I don't know how many of us saw it coming.
Well,
they very definitely did not see it coming.
I mean, obviously, given the results Arkansas has had leading into that game, you're not expecting them to win, but also I'm not surprised. Like, I thought they could go compete in that game, and I thought we would get their best effort, and I thought this team would come out of a shooting, what I'll call slump. Is that what it's been, a slump, or are they terrible shooters? Like, can they not shoot?
They're not terrible shooters.
I agree. I think they're pretty good players. So that maybe they break out of the – look, you're not going to shoot 50% every night, but you can shoot better than the lowest in the league. You can get in the 40% range every night.
Sometimes you got to be somewhere before you really understand. I didn't understand, honestly, until Friday night, how big the stage was going to be and how much Cal loves the big stage and how much those Kentucky players going back. We focused on what the fan reception was going to be like. As Adu Thero said Friday night in a very brief conversation I had with him, I've played on this floor lots of times. This is no big deal at all. They were back in their element. All of them were. And I thought it showed. I thought they played relaxed. I thought the stage matched the star and vice versa. That is Cal. The stage, the spotlight, the whole deal. That's when you get your best out of stars. And sometimes if it's not like that, you don't. But I thought Saturday night, it was a night for the stars to shine. The arena was filled with them. It was a big-time atmosphere. And the cream rises to the top in those situations.
We'll hit the break, but before we do, here is Thero after the game.
You know, I say he probably feels good about it, great about it. Nobody wants to come back, to where you were at for a long time. And, he was winning there. Nobody wants to come back and lose. So getting that dub, we had to do that for him. He's always had our backs. We felt like tonight we had to really have his.
7:18 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
There's nothing we enjoy saying more than I told you so.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Do you enjoy lunch with me?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not any better than anybody else's lunch or anything like that, but I mean, it's all right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
877-377-6963 if you want to hop in here. Gentle Ben on a reaction, make a point Monday. Ben, what's happening?
Hey, man, y'all are in the hogs. I mean, the great win Saturday night, like everybody else is saying. But I want to throw out something here and see if y'all agree with me or you think I'm all wet or way out in the wheat field instead of way out in left field. But here's the deal. I believe that, okay, there's a few coaches in the past that would say, yeah, like old Wentz Anderson said, he was famous for, letting the players get their legs underneath them so they won't be dead leg when they play the game, and practicing hard, a lot during the season. But toward the end of the season, let them get their legs underneath them so then three-pointers can have their legs there, strong and everything to make them threes and all like that. And I just kind of feel like that maybe our coach might have been, kind of really having them graveyard practices, for whatever reasons and all like that. But I think this week, I think that he eased up. We had the week off. We didn't have the midweek game, which may have helped us a lot. But I also think that Cal may have, Coach Cal may have let them get their legs underneath them. And I've always been told that, the three-point shooters and all like that really need their legs under them and not be dead leg when you go playing. It looks like a whole lot of this season we've been dead leg, dead-headed or whatever, where we couldn't hit anything. But I just seen a team like, Saturday night that had their legs underneath them, and and they weren't dead legs. So I just want to see what y'all think about that.
All right.
Thanks, Ben.
Well, I don't think they were missing shots previously because they were dead legged. I don't believe that. I think part of what happened on Saturday night, in terms of the preparation, I don't think it was a week, honestly, where they were spending time off. From what I understand, the early part of the week they tended to focus more on the Razorbacks, so to speak, as opposed to scouting Kentucky. What I saw Saturday night was a team that executed well. I don't buy into the idea that they've not played with fire. In fact, I think one of the reasons they were able to win Saturday night is because they have continued to play with fire. After losses, when you don't have a good game, it doesn't mean that your effort wasn't there. When you miss a shot, it doesn't mean you weren't trying. And it doesn't mean you're dead leg. It just means you missed the shot. And anybody that's watched this stuff knows that for whatever reason, and I can't explain why, but it happens in streaks. Same thing in baseball. Guy gets on a streak. I know this, whatever they did, whatever they were doing to prepare for this ball game, keep doing it, because whatever it did worked. And it's kind of like being on a hitting streak. Whatever you think the reason is, that's the reason. And so just keep doing it.
Cal said after the game that they played fearless, and he said, I coached fearless. And here's what I've been impressed with when it comes to Cal. We knew he was a Hall of Fame coach. We know he's going to get the best recruiting classes in the country. He's going to get some of the best guys out of the transfer portal. I've been impressed with how he's evolved. For all the talk at Kentucky about this guy not evolving, and you pointed it out last week, it's garbage. He has evolved. His roster is not full of one-and-done guys. He went out and got in the portal. He went out and got grad transfers. He went out and got transfers. He's got some really young talent. He's got a blend. He's trying to evolve. He tried something new with not getting too many players. The jury's still out on whether that's going to work. But the thing I've been most impressed by is how he's handled getting embarrassed. This guy has a lot of pride and puts himself out there because of the things he's accomplished. And when it's not going well, there's nowhere to hide. You're on the stage. You've put yourself on the stage. And he has handled himself with humility and class and motivation and encouragement for his team. And those guys, to a man, are talking about having his back. Reed Sheppard gets criticized by Kentucky fans because he's wearing Kentucky shorts and an Arkansas shirt in his NBA pregame warm-ups the other day. And when asked about it, he said, because that's my coach, I'll always love the Wildcats, but that guy's always had my back. So these guys are playing for their guy, which is Cal. And they're good, and they're talented. They just haven't played well. And we're all waiting now to see if this is the tipping point where they go play more like who they can be the rest of the season. But I want to take this moment to remind myself and all of us, like, we are so reactionary in our fandom. Washed up, lost his fastball, all that crap. Like, is that what you saw on Saturday?
Well, what I hope now is that we will stop repeating the Kentucky narrative. We've done this since the season began. Everything from he needs to upgrade his staff to he plays archaic. That was the big word, archaic basketball. He can't evolve with the game.
Passed him by.
That's their narrative, and that's in their minds, that's their justification for wanting him gone. Now, I doubt they're saying that today. In fact, I'm pretty certain they're not. But that was their narrative to justify their feelings about Cal. It's never been true. It's never been true. But I was going to say for whatever reason, I know the reason, because they've not won enough. We've just assumed that all that was true. When we had the caller last week, I'm sorry, but when we had the caller last week that said maybe he needs to look at his staff, that's right off a Kentucky message board. 100%. I mean, that's right out of the Big Blue Nation handbook.
Without question.
And when I heard that, you could audibly hear me roll my eyes. It was so bad. I hope we get away from that. One thing, too, Cal's return was emotional. What you didn't see on television was when Big Z came out to warm up 2 hours before the game, the way the students were brutal on him. Same thing for DJ when he walked out to warm up 2 hours before the game, and Adu as well. Those students were there. I mean, they've been lined up since 4 in the morning. They were there, and they were brutal when they came on the floor. It wasn't just Cal going back. It wasn't just Cal answering the critics. It was those players, too. And I thought, you look at the principles in the Razorback win, with respect to a lot of others. You don't win that game without those 3 players from Kentucky. They had great games. And Cal had as fine a moment as a coach could ever have, short of winning the national title. I can't imagine, from a personal standpoint, anything being more satisfying than what they were able to do Saturday night.
I thought he was class the whole week leading up to the game. And then with the victory, all the way down to yelling at Billy Richmond for getting into it with a fan in the middle of an interview.
Billy, stop it!
Did that sound Italian right there?
Hey.
Billy, stop it!
Cal talks about dragging him across the finish line.
Last Corleone, according to John Rusty.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good.
Garrison got a dunk at the 6:58 mark to make it 76-70. And I can tell you, I'll be honest, I'm thinking, the crowd's on its feet like we are. When the Razorbacks are, trying to come from behind and you get to a certain point and the other team's bringing the ball up and everybody rises to their feet. Let's get a stop. That's what was going on in Rupp Arena when it was 76-70. Wagner, guarded by Robinson, gets underneath, kicks it out to Davis on the wing. Nelly couldn't get a 3 away, so they'll reset it. 7 to shoot. Big Z's going to try a 3. Left wing, good. Zavonimir. 79-70 at that point. They outscored him after Garrison's dunk made it 76-70. Arkansas outscored him 13-9 the rest of the way. That's how you close a game, and that's what he's talking about when he says drag him across the finish line. Now, he didn't personally do it. They executed it. But let me tell you something. There was one poise team down the stretch Saturday night. Not 2, 1. And it was the one wearing red.
Kentucky was turning it over. They were missing free throws.
They're in trouble right now because their point guard's out. They do not have a ball handler. They've been using literally that 7-footer as their point center. That was not the first time that they've done it. They sacrifice a lot by having him out high because, as we saw, when he's down on the block and able to back a guy down, you can't stop him. But they don't have a ball handler out there. They put those 2 freshmen in there, and neither one of them is good enough to do it. I wonder what's going to happen with him for the next couple of weeks.
Game changer when you make shots, which is what Arkansas
doubt.
did. The Sweat 'em Edge is a game changer for us guys. Just like a team, we face challenges with our health and our vitality. First thing you got to do is find out what your challenges are. Then let them coach you up on a game plan where you get to make some choices and decide if you want to feel and look better. But feeling better is such a big deal to all of us. And the chances are, if you're dragging, you can feel a lot better. Or if you're struggling to lose weight, there are answers to that. Get the free evaluation. It's called the Sweat 'em Edge. Log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com, click on the Sweat 'em Edge, get signed up, get the free evaluation, and then figure out what you want to do from there. Or you can call them at 479-966-4174. This is the top level of vitality care for men. Chuck and I have both done it, are better off for it, and you can be too. Sweatnumcosmetic.com. It's the Sweat 'em Edge. Check it out today. 7:34 on a Monday. Good morning.
I'm not telling you that everything's great. I'm also not willing to say everything's terrible.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original Sports Rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You want to talk about washed? You're being brainwashed by idiots. You're following idiots.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria.
I hate to tell you, a couple
508
times I
Garrison
looked up.
Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Can I just tell you, I love getting to know you.
Yeah, whatever.
It's been such a good year getting to know you.
Yeah, well, it's.
I'm really looking forward to 25.
Imagine how much fun it's been for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And Chuck did not show up for the post-game party.
I heard you at a party.
Well, I was in my garage waiting on you.
We got back about like 1:45 in the morning.
Yeah, that's
were you still up?
No, no. I didn't think you were going to come, so I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't bother.
I
went to bed pretty early.
What if I'd shown up?
Well, I would have
rang the doorbell.
I would have gotten up.
Yeah.
I would have gotten up, and the spirits would have flowed aplenty for the victorious play-by-play man.
I didn't have anything to do with that, but I'll tell you this: I am sick of these late night games. I don't care if it's Saturday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday. It screws my body clock up to the point where I'm just.
Well, you seem joyful today, and it must have been
it's a battle.
A nice plane ride home.
Well, it was. It was. They don't come much better than that. There are certain games you remember until you can't remember. And that'll be one of them.
You're going to lose 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, 2 or 3 in a row. You're going to because of this league. And all you want to rack up is quad 1 wins. Just keep racking up quad 1 wins. That's the most important thing.
That's what it's all about right now. It's quad 1 wins. Arkansas, 7 of their last 10 games are going to be against quad 1 opponents. As of right now, they're quad 1 opponents. That could change one way or the other. Particularly on Mississippi State. Right now, that wouldn't be a quad 1 game, but it could be by the time it happens, depending upon where they are. So, I mean, it's out there. It's out there. And when you really break down the schedule, and, you know, this is an important game Wednesday night. Alabama's going to be tough. Going to Auburn's going to be tough. But, you know, Vanderbilt's going to be a quad 1 game over at their place. Texas twice, quad 1 games. Missouri, quad 1 game. You've got opportunities to pile up the wins. And here's the thing that you have to understand. A lot of these teams that you're going to hear talked about as bubble teams, some of them aren't going to have, if they have 1 or 2 quad 1 wins, that's going to be it. So, you know, Arkansas right now, John Rothstein pointed this out yesterday, that with a quad 1 win at Rupp and with a quad 1 win on a neutral site at Madison Square Garden over Michigan, you know, those are valuable wins in the selection committee's eyes. Let's say you beat Texas, just for the sake of argument. Let's say you go to Austin and win on Wednesday night. That's 3 quad 1 wins away from Bud Walton Arena. That's going to weigh heavily with the selection committee when that day, you know, when Judgment Day arrives. If you go 5-5, you're an absolute lock to get in. I don't hesitate at all saying that. You can lose once or twice this week, and you've still got a path to get in. But you got to get to 7. If you get to 7, I think you're in.
Georgia was a quad 1 win.
Georgia, all right,
as well at home at the time.
All right, at the time, yes, and
but it'll remain that way.
It may come down. You know, I know a lot of people say 13 from the SEC. I'm not sure I believe that. I do believe 12. It may come down to Arkansas or Georgia. Might. I mean, that's a scenario that could play out. Might not, but I mean, we're all guessing with 10 games to go.
You know, I had a coach tell me the other day that they had done some research on Nelly in his career and that he has played his best ball later in the season. Like, this has been sort of a pattern for him that, you know, at times he'll struggle early on and then kind of turn the corner. And we're going to, like, he scored 18 in back-to-back games now. He was way more efficient with his 18 in this game. But what I'm seeing, and we can say it's a one-game situation, but we've been watching it develop over the course of the SEC slate so far. These guys are starting to feel it. They're starting to figure it out, and they're good. They're good enough. They are better than a lot of other rosters, like individually. Can they play together as a team? Can they continue to play at the level they're capable of? And if they can, I mean, this story is far from written. It is far from being written.
A college basketball season is 5 months long now because you start playing so early in November. And really from the exhibition games in October, it's a 5-month season. It's the longest of the three majors in college sports. People think it's baseball. It's not. It's basketball. Longest season of the year. You're going to have ebbs and flows over the course of 4 or 5 months. There's just the idea that you're going to wind these guys up and they're going to play the same way every time out. That's not realistic, but it's about to be money time, so to speak. And we're into the final month of the regular season now, final full month. And this is when the stars shine.
Well, they started on Saturday. Here's my question.
February 1st.
Fan,
I mean, that's when the calendar flips.
As a fan, what are you feeling coming out of the game? Is this like a one-off, or is this the team that you thought you were going to get? And, like, this should be a reminder to all of us. Look, it's fine to react, but these sweeping judgments of Cal has lost it, these guys, you know, can't do it. It's like we watched this on display for a couple of weeks now, right? The Kentucky fans, everything that was said going into the game. I mean, there was a line that we'll play for you when we come back from the break on game day. That was as it was hilarious, but it was as insulting as it could possibly be to this Razorback team. But the things that have been said prior to this game, do you still believe those things to be true? Or upon further review, are you starting to change your mind? You can weigh in 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank. They don't change their mind. They're consistently all in on local banking, Arkansas banking, where you can bank better because you get convenient locations. You get all the support you need when it comes to figuring out anything you need to know about banking. They are there for you. Customer service is their priority. Friendly, local banking where you bank better. You can check them out online, fsbank.com. First Security Bank is the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show. Bank better, First Security Bank, member FDIC. Back in a minute. Good morning.
That's the actual question. What the hell's going on around here?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I'm Dr. Scotty Bolding, a native Arkansan oral and maxillofacial surgeon. One of my goals is to make Arkansans healthier.
If you have sleep disorder breathing, it's important to treat it properly. The standard treatment's a breathing machine called CPAP. It helps you breathe during the night. However, there are other options thanks to some truly innovative and proven technologies.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Dr. Bolding at Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine works carefully with your sleep physician, determines where the underlying obstruction may be, and provides surgical solutions that open the airway, allowing you to breathe better.
Hey, give us a call, 479-755-3000, or log on to our website, precedent.com, Precedent. We'd love to help.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yuengling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yuengling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yuengling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Bo, when your show went off a few years ago, it was like I've been lost ever since then. And I just really appreciate your show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, Tin Layer Dip, Brisket Nachos, and Mexican Pizza. And ask about Joe's Tailgate Packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Great point, Bo.
Thank you.
I'm Chuck. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. I'm going to start taking credit. Like when you make a great point, I'm going to call myself
All
Chuck.
right, fair enough.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's the only way I can have a great point.
Whatever.
I pretend to be Chuck. Sterling is in Center Ridge. Sterling, good morning.
Good morning, Bo and Chuck. And hey, it's a great day. It's a great day. Beautiful weather. Had beautiful weather yesterday. It's just been fantastic. I tell you what, we've been saying the whole time that this is a make or miss league. Basketball is make or miss, and they start making some shots. That's the biggest difference in the team. I thought they always played hard. I thought they always gave great effort. The ball wasn't going down. Now the ball's starting to go down, and this team's starting to look like what you think they should look like. Knox is playing good. Brazil hit a big three. I mean, this team is doing what they're supposed to do. They went into the Lions' den and came out with a Lion coach. I'm telling you what, this is an outstanding performance, and they show. And what I like most about this, what we saw from Cal, was how much his players, past, present, love their coach.
Yeah, they do.
And they stood up for their coach Saturday night, and that's something you can't buy that. I mean, I know some people want people to be loyal to the school, loyal to the Razorbacks, loyal to the Cats, loyal to the Tide, but we got right now in this day and age, just loyalty to the coach, and really it was always loyalty to the coach. It's just the coach stayed at one place forever, and you got it. You know, it was loyalty to the school and the coach because the coach was still at the school. Now we got a lot of movement all the time. But I'll tell you what, this team, and again, like y'all both said, is this the way we're going to shoot pretty much, well, not as good, but better than what we have for the rest of the season? Then this team got a chance. It's not over. It never was over. And all this crying and Big Dude Nation, they got what they deserve. They got what they deserve. They came in there looking for blood. They came in there for a pig roast. And come Sunday, they all turn Muslim. Just like that.
Sterling.
All turn Muslim, no pigs to eat.
Thanks for the call. You know what I was kind of struck by, Chuck, is how classy Cal treated the Kentucky fans and how they showed the other side of how a human can act.
Well, you're right about that.
All week. And all he did, he's never said a bad thing about Kentucky since he's left.
No, he hasn't.
But they've just trashed him, and while doing it, talk about how he wasn't good enough to be there and how he'd lost his fastball and all that. So why aren't you happy that he's gone? So you want to talk about how bad he is, and then at the same time be all pissy that he's gone.
They're not saying any of that this morning. This was all pregame narrative because they thought they were going to win. They thought it was going to be a blowout, and they thought they were going to embarrass him. Good morning.
Being a Razorback fan isn't just about the game. It's about the community, the tradition, and the moments that matter. At Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, they understand the importance of those moments. That's why they offer a selection of fine jewelry that goes beyond the ordinary, just like our Hogs. Visit Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers, where you'll find that perfect piece to celebrate your Razorback spirit and the special moments in your life. Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Story talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweat No Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to sweatnomcosmetic.com and click on the Sweat No Edge.
And I listen in every day. Everybody know that. I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
Good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our highs this afternoon will be into the lower 70s, clear to partly cloudy upper 40s overnight. Tuesday, I think we'll see just a slight chance of a little rain, otherwise partly sunny. Highs on Tuesday into the upper 60s. Wednesday, a chance of showers in low 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits.
Hey, this is Dr. Charlie Liggett at River Valley Smile Center. You may know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cave, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to take an opportunity. Woo! Go blow the whistle.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Papa's Pub and Pizzeria. The best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Rachel's at Papa's right now. Rachel, what do you think?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
You can check out their menu at papaspub.com. Cricket, how about you?
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Come on by and see us at Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Proud to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Here's the thing about email, and maybe I just don't have it figured out, but when I get a text,
maybe not.
Maybe. When I get a text, I hear the ping. Or if I have it on silent, I don't. I just see it. Yeah. But if it's an email.
Ding. They make noises too.
Yeah, but I don't have mine set like that. And I don't want to get a ping every time I get an email. I get all this trash email. You get all this spam email. I don't want to know every time an email comes in, but I want to know when a text comes in.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
Back to Save Sports Radio.
I'm ready to roll right now,
Can you believe we're doing this?
This brings back.
Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Here is Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
This is what I'm happy Matt Zimmerman sounds like as Chuck's broadcast partner on the Razorback Sports Network.
Goodbye. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're mass exodus.
They're heading for the exits.
It's
Can you
awesome.
believe it?
Goodbye.
This is basking in the glory.
And they are streaming toward the exits at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, they are streaming toward the exits.
Yeah,
wow.
They did not play good tonight. They look like a bad team
Wow.
tonight. And the Hogs made them look that way. And when you get blown out at home, it isn't no fun.
Man.
All the fun you could have on one Saturday night. Rod is in Fort Smith. It's 8:03 on the Chuck and Bo Show Monday morning. Hey, Rod, what's happening?
Well, I thought Eddie would have been more excited.
Yeah, he went down. He wanted to relive every moment
Yeah.
in time today for some reason.
Every great Razorback basketball moment.
I thought you were going to reach through the radio and slap me there for a minute. What I seen was a team that played with confidence, not in themselves, but each other. It felt like something clicked. I don't know what kind of preparation Cal put them through, but it sounds like preparation H to me.
Well,
I'm pretty sure those guys came out.
Whatever they did worked, that's for sure.
Jeez.
I want it again. I want to see more, especially Texas, because I hate Texas. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Texas is another game, another opportunity. I look at the rest of the games on their schedule and think they should be in every one of them. But they got to play loose and free like they played. Making shots is such a massive deal. And you don't expect them to shoot that well every night, but you don't expect them to be as bad as they have been shooting the ball from the field either. So somewhere in the middle there, they're good enough. Somewhere in the middle there, they're good enough to be in every game and to win half the games they have left or more. And you're right. I mean, they did look like they trusted and played for each other in this game. And that's the kind of effort that we've talked about them having to have, and they certainly did it. And I got to give Cal a lot of credit here. He's held those guys together, Chuck. I mean, look, it's bad when you're not winning, and it gets bad in the locker room at a lot of places when you're not winning, and it's people start pointing fingers. But when you're expected to win, and when you came in with a bunch of great players and a Hall of Fame coach, and all the money poured into basketball and the expectations of all these fans, that's the level you were at. And then when you lose, when you're 1-5, you're 1-6. It's even worse, or potentially could be. And he did not allow that to happen. He has not allowed that to happen. And I just don't think you can give him enough credit for that.
Well, they got 10 games to go, and you got to stay in the fight. And that's what they've been able to do. And that's what he's drilled into them during the course of the season, particularly since when we got into conference play the first of last month and it began to go south. He's held them together well. You're right. And I think that gives you an idea, frankly, about how the last 5 weeks are going to go. I think there's still going to be some setbacks. There's going to be successes. They just got to stay in the fight and find a way to win about half these 10 games that remain. If you win half of them, I think you're in. Winning basketball is one of those phrases that's been tossed around. I want to give you my definition of what winning basketball was Saturday. Think about, and the caller talking about Brazile hitting a shot made me think about this. Kentucky's up 44-40. Their big guy Carr hit a three-pointer with about a minute and a half to go. And it was one of those moments where, boy, you better play well these last 90 seconds or you could be down 8 or 10, 7 or 8 at the very least.
going into the locker room. They come down. They make an extra pass. Nelly made the pass. He got the assist. Brazile hit the three out of the corner, make it 44-43. Then they got a break. Fatigue, I thought, was a factor in this game. I thought both teams had really tired legs at the end of both halves. Jackson Robinson goes to the line, misses 2 free throws for Kentucky. Arkansas comes down. They get a 3 from Carter Knox. They go from being 4 down with 90 seconds left in the first half to being up 1 at the break. I thought that was a critical moment. And then they smoked them in the second half. You look at the percentages for the game and you think, well, Kentucky shot the ball well. They did in the first half. They shot 39% in the second half. Arkansas shot 64.5% in the second half. That's what happened in the final 20 minutes. But back to your original point, this is why I think they've still got a shot. They've stayed in the fight all year, and I don't see that changing at all.
And what we say, because they've been doing that, they just need some shots to fall.
And they did.
They
fell.
And I think you're going to see more of that. You're going to see better shooting percentages, maybe not as well as you saw on Saturday, but better than you had seen previously on average.
I still don't think it's going to be a smooth ride over the last 10 games. And I'm not going to suggest that I think they're going to shoot 55 and 52 in every game the rest of the way, because I don't. Kentucky doesn't work very hard defensively. And some of the teams they're going to play work harder defensively than Kentucky does. But, hey, they won a big game and they put themselves in a position to, if they can get hot, make a run.
Not everybody realizes this, but College Game Day is also a basketball show. So Reese Davis hosts the show. He's got analysts up there, Jay Billis, others.
Seth
Greenberg's up there. Andrea Carter, who has become a star at ESPN.
She really has.
And does a really good job. Had the clever line of the day about the game. But it was a direct shot at Arkansas. And it was much talked about. But I want you to think about, this is where Arkansas was, the type of things they were hearing going into this game.
The worst thing you can do after a breakup is show up to the club with a downgrade.
Oh. What is this club you speak of?
Or a breakup. I know you all are happily married men, but am I right? Like, y'all know, like, you go through a breakup, then you show up to the bar, and your new isn't as good as your old was, and everybody's just looking at you like, that's the. You have to show up with an upgrade. That's the only way everybody is quiet. So if Arkansas could come in and shut the crowd up by playing at a high level, that is the only thing. What, y'all are married men? You don't know what it's like to go through a breakup? I know you've been through breakups before you were married. I know you were all happily married. I can't say the same.
I just wouldn't go out. I just stay at home. I just know that I just kept upgrading till I got to the top. That's it, you know?
Yeah, but the issue is the upgrade for all of our wives when they dump us.
Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, I mean,
that'll be easy.
I love the way all those guys are like, what? What are you talking like? They had no idea what she was talking about. They knew exactly what she was talking about.
But that was the feeling that Cal is going into this game, that he broke up with Kentucky, he left Kentucky, and he downgraded. I remember when Cal came in the day of his news conference, and I sat down with him to do the Hog Pod, to introduce, hey, here's your new coach. And I showed him all of these clips about from national media people basically saying he'd lost it and he was relegated to Arkansas now. And I said, the reason I'm showing you this is because in Arkansas, it always feels like we're trying to overcome being the underdog and we don't get the respect and all these types of things. And now you're a part of that. And he stopped it like halfway through, didn't want to see anymore, and said, it probably has more to do with how those people feel about me. But he embraced coming in, being part of this. And we talked last week, Chuck, about, are Arkansas and Cal married yet, or are we just living together? And if they go win this game, are Arkansas fans like, okay, you're mine now? Because he's such a big celebrity, you don't really know what to do with that sometimes as a Razorback fan. It's like he's still this sort of iconic figure, but he's over there. Well, at some point, this thing has to be consummated, and you're in it together. And it felt like that comment and others that you've gotten going into this game squarely puts Arkansas and Cal together on the same side. And so, like it or not, he's your guy. You're in there with him. And I think you might like it a lot better today than maybe you did a week ago.
The Cal era began at Arkansas Saturday night, and the Mark Pope era at Kentucky began Saturday night too. There's going to be lasting effects from that game, make no mistake.
Hey, do you suffer from sleep apnea, struggle to sleep, can't breathe well at night? You don't like your CPAP machine because it's uncomfortable or embarrassing? Not wearing it can lead to severe health problems. You've heard us talk about this. It can increase risk of obesity, high blood pressure, heart condition, stroke, even death. But there are options. Dr. Scotty Bolding's an Arkansas native and a world-renowned surgeon, and he's got proven surgical alternatives to improve your airway and help you breathe better. Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine, 479-755-3000. You can log on to their website, precedent.com, Precedent.com. You can breathe better, and it can be a permanent fix, a long-term solution, leading to a life change, a much better life where you breathe better at day and night. Precedent.com, Precedent Center for Facial and Dental Medicine. Back in a minute. It's 8:14 on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Bo, you said something interesting. I don't think you meant to, but when you talked about Phil's...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, we're here to help lighten the load. This new year, enjoy no payments and no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging heating and air system, or upgrading your electrical, our Paschal pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit GoPaschal.com today to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. See dealer for details with approved credit. Restrictions apply.
Guys, regardless of our age, feeling good is something we all want. That's what the Sweatnum Edge is all about. It's where health, confidence, and peak performance come together. We all face challenges like low energy, hair loss, who's looking at me, stubborn weight, and skin health. The good news is we can do something about it. Get your free evaluation today and see where you are. Chuck and I have both done it and are better off for it. Log on to SweatnumCosmetic.com and click on the Sweatnum Edge.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Storey talk about his great LASIK results with McDonald Eye. The surgeons there have done more LASIK procedures than anybody in the state of Arkansas and have helped numerous athletes get better results through improved vision. When it comes to vision, nobody sees it like McDonald Eye.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Save Sports Radio.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know? Or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You were still on the air when I went to sleep last night.
Yeah. Was that the last voice you heard?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Boy, victorious voice of Chuck Barrett.
It'll be that way Tuesday or Wednesday night. I guess in Texas. We play at 8 o'clock.
You got night games the rest of the way. 8 o'clock Central?
Brutal. Yeah.
So what's that? Can we just take care of some housekeeping here?
Can we?
Are you going to be here on Thursday? Probably not.
Well,
I put him right on the spot.
It'll be. It probably won't be at 6. I'm gonna guess it'll be late when we get back.
Yeah.
I'll be here at 7.
Yeah, we'll weather the storm.
All right.
Hey, by the way, I just want to let you know Bart is doing better, but he's not around the corner. He's turned the corner, but he's at the other end of the block.
I miss Bart.
Tell me about it.
He's still symptomatic.
It's been a long time.
He's still positive.
Still taking tests. Why is he taking tests?
Because he's got COVID. I mean, that's kind of how
By
it
the
works.
way, the flu is rampant right now.
Is it really?
Oh, my gosh. I know so many people with the flu right now. I'm not normally this way. I've begun to get nervous. Began? Which is it, Chuck?
Begun.
I've begun, I had it right the first time, to get nervous about going out in public. Or I'm at this cheer competition with my daughter over the weekend, and then people are just crowding into elevators, and I'm just like, I'm covering my face. I mean, I'm a little wary of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's knocking families down for a week at a time.
What's it like being a dad at a cheerleader competition?
Good mercy. Well, it starts with a Starbucks run for all the girls.
Yeah.
Got to get them, got to get them all in their own room so they can do their hair and all this stuff.
You help them with that? You help them with
absolutely not.
Yeah.
I do. I go places and get things.
I got you.
Get all the bags together afterwards, as they go over
Healthy
the
snacks.
competition.
You get the healthy snacks for them?
No. Load up they do not eat healthy.
I got you.
Load up the cart, to the bell cart. Somehow end up on like the 16th floor and stop at every single floor on the way down. Ding, 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 all the way down. And, just get through the day, go to the comp, watch the 3-minute
routine. Did you sedate yourself or anything during the day? Did you have a couple of cocktails during the afternoon? What'd you do?
No, I did not. I was strictly on Diet Coke and peanut M&Ms.
Okay.
To get through the day, and I was just thinking about getting home from Tulsa in time to watch the Razorback game.
Did you?
I did.
Pull it off?
I absolutely did.
Well, I bet you were
and
tired.
A great time was had by, yes, a little bit. But it was, hey, they won. Now, these cheer competition things, you don't ever know what you're getting into. There's so many teams. You have no idea who you're actually competing against. You have no idea how many teams are in your division, and you might be the only team in your division. You don't always know.
Sounds amazing. It sounds incredible.
It is, yeah. But, I mean, by the way, I don't know if you watched any of the game day that we referenced earlier, college basketball game day. Some kid hit a half-court shot, won $19,000. But what I noticed, they have the cheerleaders of the team, the home team. They're on the floor. They were at Duke. They had the Duke cheerleaders around the set. So the camera has the cheerleaders in the background. And they have PermaSmile on for an hour. That fake, grin that a
beauty pageant?
Yes.
Beauty pageant
And I'm
smile?
like, how do they do that? I don't know how they pull that off.
They've been trained by their mom since they were about 4.
Well done. I mean, they've got it. It's the opposite of RBF. They got that. They have to have that. So if you didn't know what that is, you can look it up. I mean, I learned a year or two ago. But it's a good thing to know because could be helpful. And like that's not really how somebody feels. They just look that way. But be that as it may, I wanted to play a soundbite from the weekend because we can't get out of this show without hearing what Bill Self said about the Kansas-Baylor game.
Wow, that's
so. What happened in the Kansas-Baylor game?
I don't know. I just looked up RBF. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't know what it was?
No, I had no idea.
Oh,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's like, that would have changed so many things in your life. If you just known that's what it was, it would have led to a lot fewer arguments.
Well,
you would have been like, she didn't mean anything by that at all.
That a person is angry, annoyed, irritated, or contemptuous. Huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail that segment.
Resting, fill in the blank, face.
Yeah. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever heard of that.
Yeah, well, it's a common thing. It's as
Well,
common
maybe
it's almost as common as LOL now.
I am not a nerd because I didn't know what RBF means. I'm going to guess there are a lot of people out there my age that don't know what that means.
Well, I'm here to educate and help, and I think we're better off having knowledge of it.
Well, as I say, I'm glad to know.
It's a positive.
But nobody's ever used that
thing.
term around me. So, therefore, I'd never heard of it.
Well, to be honest,
I'd have looked it up before now.
I didn't have any idea until like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. So I'm only slightly ahead of you. Anyhow, back to Bill Self.
Sorry.
So what happened in the Kansas-Baylor game?
So Kansas was up pretty substantially in the first. I think they were.
They
up
led by 19 at half. They were up 38-17 before.
And then they got outscored 60-30 by Baylor in the second half and blew the lead and lost by 11.
Bill Self after the game, after losing and blowing that halftime lead.
I honestly believe the oranges that we ate at halftime that Baylor provided was probably the reason why we sucked the second half.
I don't know that you think about that. They're up 38-17 with less than a minute to play in the first half. You settle for a 19-point halftime lead and you lose by 11. I mean, you see that happening sometimes in an NBA game. You have wild swings, but halves are 20 minutes in college basketball. It's not like it's not like they're playing two 12-minute quarters in the second half.
That's a huge swing.
Yeah, I mean it's just unthinkable. But yeah, I'm sure that Bill Self was hot when it was over. Hey, it seems like everything's more expensive, and that's because a lot of times it is. But at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric, they are there to help you lighten the load. Now, as we move into the new year, as we move through winter, right now you can save money. No payments, no interest on all home repairs and replacements. Repairs and replacements. Whether it's fixing that stubborn plumbing issue, replacing an aging HVAC, maybe upgrading your electrical system, the Paschal Pros are here to keep your home running smoothly and stress-free. Visit gopaschal.com to schedule your service. Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Professional people, professional service. GoPaschal.com.
Arkansas basketball assistant Chuck Martin's going to join us next. I love that Chuck looked that up during the segment. I mean, it's so good.
I like to have a working knowledge of what we're discussing.
You know what we are? We touch the heart.
There's a lot of profanity going on in the world that I'm not even aware of.
I wasn't even trying to make it profane.
Well, it's pretty profane when I look at it.
I can't say that I've ever looked it up.
Now, I think if I'd used that term at home when I was growing up, I'd had my mouth washed out.
Well, I mean, when you were growing up, it was a very wholesome time.
It was.
It was a much different
watched
time.
Little House on the Prairie.
It's 8:26. Chuck Martin coming up next on the Chuck and Bo Show.
I don't like getting up early in the mornings. I mean, even to go duck hunting, but I do get up every morning now to listen to you guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party, or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
I always enjoy talking about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
When is the last time you thought, oh, the SEC's making an announcement today, and it's going to be good for the Hogs?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas, will you make the Final Four? In them wacky uniforms with the pigs with horns. And did I hear you say you were playing a game today with the home crowd yelling, woo, pig suey? Hey, those pigs may be hogs, but they're kosher to me. Capiche?
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas wins a national championship!
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because our Kansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
It's a tough time. Injured, and it was not your fault. Hurts in the pocketbook, too. Who do you turn to? Don't call a lawyer and find they're out of state or talk with someone at a call center. Call us at the Brad Hendricks Law Firm and talk to a real Arkansas lawyer directly. And remember, the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. We'll work hard for you. Have for over 30 years. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
courtside with Fort Smith Public Schools.
You know, one of the things that the way I like to coach, I solicit a lot of feedback from the girls. And there's that language that you develop with your players that those seniors already know. And so when I'm asking them to do something, they can translate it for me, you know? Or when I'm needing feedback from them, they kind of know what I'm wanting to hear.
Coaches take you inside on what's going on in Fort Smith sports. New episode every week on the Hit That Line podcast network and on hitthatline.com. You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Well, I got to go to the bank. I got to go to the cleaner. I mean, just errands, errands, things like that. Stuff you have people to do for you. Stuff I have to do myself.
There it is. The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, Chuck. It is Monday.
You do have a staff.
Yeah,
man.
sure I do.
You do have a staff.
Yeah, well, we have a staff that puts the show together here, and that is the extent of it. And nobody has more breakfast bars that they get than you do, by the way.
I am pretty spoiled.
So 89-79, what a win for Arkansas. Chuck Martin, Arkansas basketball assistant and recruiting coordinator, joins us this morning. Coach, thanks so much for making time for us. I imagine the steps had a little bit of more kick in them over the weekend as you guys get ready for the next one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me. It was a good win, obviously, but we just needed a win. You know, it just happened to be against Kentucky at Rupp, and you just can't make it up. It's like Hollywood script, right?
I thought it was interesting to watch. This, first of all, let's just call it what it is. The celebrity that Coach Cal is to college basketball was on full display, and it was the cameras, it was the spotlight, it was everything. But I was interested to see how he handled it, and as a staff, you guys handled the week, the game, and then after the game. Can you take us just sort of inside what that was like for all of you? Because I don't know if you could have handled it any better.
You know, it's such a great point by you. It wasn't a normal game, obviously, right? Coach Cal had spent 15 years at Kentucky. He had unbelievable success at Kentucky, and this is his first time back at Kentucky. The one thing I thought that you just mentioned 2 seconds ago that I think helped me, I think our staff, I don't know if I can speak for Coach Cal, but the assistants, you know, when you're around Cal, as long as all of us have been around him, he is a celebrity. So you become accustomed to the cameras being around all the time, whether it's in practice or a game, whether it's recruiting when he walks in a gym. So that part of it, in some ways, I don't think really, like, it was normal, I think, in some ways, the cameras, because that's kind of who he is, and that's kind of who he's been. He's been this mega star in college basketball. I think the emotions of going back to Kentucky, that's a different story. I think, I'll give you an example. When we were driving up to Rupp the night of the game, as we're going through the tunnel to go in my mind, this is me, not anyone else, this is just me, the bus driver drove by the home team's entrance. And in my mind, I'm like, where's he going? And it hit me, like, we're the visiting team. like you know, you have been so used to going in through the main entrance that, you know, just for a second, you just kind of forgot, like, you're not there anymore. So it was just an interesting, 3 hours, the hour leading up to the game and 2 hours before the game and an hour after the game. It was just an interesting dynamic that took place.
I want to follow up on that. You guys have had success. He's had success a lot of places. But 15 years at Kentucky. You come to Arkansas, and I've talked about this. There wasn't a single thing in the basketball offices. Everything got cleaned out. Everything's brand new. Yeah. You got Trevin Brazile, and, you got some support staff, and there's some guys that ended up coming back and all. But everything's brand new. The whole roster's brand new. Nobody knows how to get to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or wherever around here when you first get here. What has this whole experience been like trying to it is about just coaching basketball, but then there's way more to it. And the process of just trying to get the organization kind of put together. I mean, Arkansas's had one, but this is a new one. Like, what can you just kind of take us behind the scenes of what that process has been like?
It's it's a great question, and I'll add to that. When we first got here, Trevin Brazile was not on board yet. He was going through the NBA process, so it's not like we had him early on. He made it clear publicly that he was going through the combine, and at that time, his thoughts were, "I'm trying to make an NBA team." So we didn't have him. So in our minds, we're like, okay, we don't have a player, a scholarship player. And then, a month later, 2 months later, he decided to come back. But it's such a great question. This is the first time in a long time, collectively, this group had to learn the town. Like, we didn't know, like, where do you take them for recruiting dinner? What hotel do the recruits stay in? We had to learn the campus. Like, where's admissions? What's the front entrance to Bud Walton? Like, the cafeteria, we didn't know. And so it's the first time in 15 years for Coach Cal. It's the first time for all of us collectively that we had to go through that process. How do you get to the airport? Like, what airport do you fly them in? Do we have direct flights from the cities that we're recruiting from, so we can relay that message to the families? Hey, there's direct flights to Fayetteville. You don't have to have. There's not a triple connector. You can fly direct from New York, Boogie Flan. You can fly direct from New Jersey, DJ Wagner. Like, that whole process, it felt like you were starting all over again as a rookie coach. When you first get into the profession and you're learning how do you do this? How do you get them here? How do you get to them? Where's the cafeteria? Where's the dorms? How far are they from campus? And I'm glad you asked that question, because it wasn't just on the court basketball. It was learning Fayetteville, learning Arkansas, learning the campus, getting to know the community, and we try to do as best we could in a short period of time.
Chuck Martin, recruiting coordinator, Arkansas basketball assistant, with us on the Chuck and Bo Show this morning. You mentioned, man, we just needed a win. What can that win do for you?
I think, the staff feels like we've always felt like we got a good team. And, we've had some ups and downs early on in the season. Melly Davis was hurt. He missed a game or two. And then Jonas Adu was out for the summer. And it took him some time to recover. And then Z had a small injury. And then, we had injuries throughout the year. But we felt like, at some point we're going to come together. We're good enough to compete in this league. And we've had some good moments. We've played well for 30 minutes. We've played well for half. But the Kentucky win, I think, got our guys to believe a little bit more, like, we can do this. For us to win on the road at Kentucky under these circumstances, to me, was incredibly impressive for our guys. They played with unbelievable composure. They executed really well on the offensive end. We were connected on the defensive end. And, we shot the ball well. And there have been times this year where we ran good offense and we had open looks and we just didn't make the shot. And you just knew as a staff, there's no way that we can continue to shoot this poorly like this. We're too good to not make open shots. And the other night, Nelly Davis and DJ and those guys were great. We made open shots.
Hey, Coach, as you look forward now, and obviously you got 2 tough games this week, but you did a lot of things in critical moments Saturday night. I think about Brazile's shot at the end of the first half. I think about the way you closed after Kentucky got within 6 at the end. You're going to be in similar situations moving forward. How have you been able to to keep the focus on the here and now, this game, block out all the outside noise, and now people are going to ask you, can you make the tournament? How do you keep this thing one at a time, so to speak?
I think going to, every day, just walk into practice with the mindset of let's just get better. Let's get better today. Let's improve just a little bit individually. Let's improve a little bit collectively every single day. As you mentioned, Chuck, let's not, the Kentucky game was a good win, but it's over. We got to prepare for Texas. And our whole mindset is be in the moment. Let's continue to have fun. Let's continue to enjoy the process. And let's continue to develop and get better. And Coach Cal's been saying it all along. At the end of the year, whenever your last game is, let's have people say, man, that's the most improved team in the country. And I think Coach Cal's been unbelievable in creating that narrative within the organization, within our program. Hey, let's not listen to anyone else. Let's just be the most improved team in the country when it's all said and done. And we're taking baby steps. We're getting better. We're getting better.
Yeah, I was going to ask about how you guys have weathered the storm. You're not used to this. And beyond that, you got a bunch of excited Razorback fans that were happy to have you. They're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And then it doesn't start like you wanted it to. That's almost kind of a double whammy to try to keep your chin up on, right?
Right.
But it looks like, and you mentioned it there, that how Cal's just kind of kept everyone together. But I'm sure it's not been easy.
No, it has its challenges. You guys have been a part of the program for a long time, so you understand the passion here at Arkansas and the success that they've had here over the years. It hasn't been easy, but as I mentioned, I think this is what separates, in my opinion, Coach Cal from the other coaches in college basketball. Like, he never wavered. And I know that's hard for people to believe, but he never wavered. He said it every day from day one. We've got some adversity. Nellie's hurt. Jonas is hurt. Boogie got hurt, obviously, 2 weeks ago. He's like, look, let's just stay together, stay the course, stay focused. Let's continue to have fun, play with joy, be unselfish, and let's improve. Let's improve. And he's been preaching that every day. Let's develop. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep teaching, and let's see what happens at the end of the year, because it's a long, long year. And I think the team and the program and the staff that can handle adversity the best is the team that's going to wind up, having success at the end. And we've been through some adversity, obviously, but there are going to be other teams in the SEC. They're going to hit adversity here in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll see how they deal with it. And I think Coach Cal's been brilliant that way, and I think that's why he's the best in the business.
Coach, you've had players who've played in big-time games. You guys have coached in big-time games. We're getting to the point, and I kind of felt this over the weekend, even prior to the game, that the bigger the stage, the bigger the stars perform. I just kind of wonder, is there the feeling that, it's money time now? There's 10 games to go. This is where you earn your keep, so to speak.
It's a great point. I don't know if we feel like, man, there's 10 games to go. I think as we mentioned a few minutes ago, I think let's just focus in on today, and let's continue to tweak some of the things that we need to improve on and fix. And obviously we understand that there is 10 games, but we're just trying to focus in on what can we do here in the next 48 hours to get a road win at Texas, and then just kind of chip away, and see what happens a month and a half from now.
Coach, you've been really generous with your time. I know you got stuff to do, but really appreciate you hopping on with us. Great insight to what's going on in the journey of this season, and we certainly appreciate it. Congrats on the big win, and good luck against Texas on Wednesday.
Appreciate you guys for having me. It was a fun night the other night, but as you mentioned, we got to get ready for Texas, and we got a big week ahead of us. So I appreciate you guys having me.
Oh, all right, happy
Coach.
to do it. We'll do it again.
Thanks
so much, Coach. Chuck Martin, recruiting coordinator and Arkansas basketball assistant, was with Cal this last year at Kentucky, and then obviously this year at Arkansas. We're brought to you in part by Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Their newly renovated store is open. They're having a grand opening on February 8th. More info to come on that. But Blakeman's Fine Jewelry is where you get something for every special occasion. There's no better diamond destination than Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins. 8:47. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. Touching the hearts of Arkansans, the passive-aggressive Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Our New Year's sale is on at Chevrolet of Fayetteville. Get total New Year's savings up to $13,000 on select in-stock new 2024 Silverados. That's up to $13,000 in total savings on a new Silverado. Limited time only during our New Year's sale at Chevrolet of Fayetteville in the Fayetteville Auto Park. Chevrolet, together let's drive. ChevroletofFayetteville.com. Savings include dealer discounts and all incentives on select models. Must qualify. See dealer for details. Expires 3/3/25.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
If you suffer from sleep apnea, but you can't stand wearing your CPAP machine, I've got good news. And you need it because not wearing your CPAP can lead to severe health problems.
Sleep is probably God's gift of medicine that we really don't utilize enough. If you don't have good sleep, you're not only affecting your body, it can affect your heart, it can affect your lungs, it can increase weight gain. If you don't get good sleep, you also are not filtering your brain well. So sleep's very, very important.
Dr. Scotty Boulding, who's an Arkansas native and world-renowned surgeon, has proven surgical alternatives that can improve your airway and help you breathe better.
If you have obstructive sleep apnea, it needs to be treated. So you need to be wearing your CPAP. So if you're not wearing your CPAP, there are some potential surgical solutions that can help you that actually work today. By correcting the jaw deformities that may be causing this obstructive sleep apnea is where we focus.
Call Dr. Boulding's office today at 479-755-3000 for a consultation and tell them you heard it on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah, does Chuck sleep that much? Because it just sometimes...
He's old, so when you get old, you don't really sleep as much.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
When second's making a play, short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I was supposed to ask him at the start of the segment what he did
really
last
appreciate
night.
you asking.
I forgot. What'd you do last night, Bo?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Super Bowl's coming up, and the hate for the Chiefs is
Ooh,
real.
That's Sunday. We're Super Bowl week now.
The hate for the Chiefs got mentioned in church on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the word hate used?
I think dislike.
Okay.
You know, they
because we don't hate. We don't hate.
Churched it up.
Yeah.
But there's an article out about why people don't like the Chiefs that we'll get into at some point this week. But with the Super Bowl coming, don't forget to download the Oaklawn Sports app in the Apple Store or a Google Play Store. Sign up today. You can do all the prop bets on the Super Bowl, Chiefs and Eagles. There'll be so many wagering options, the biggest wagering day of the year. Outright winners, spreads, totals, player props, game props, like the coin flip, length of the national anthem, you name it, you can probably bet it with Oaklawn Sports in the app. New customers, here's the big deal. If you don't have it yet, you can earn up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Once you deposit, you're automatically enrolled in the promotion. And you'll receive a second chance on your first bet each of your first 10 days for $100. Download the Oaklawn, or up to $100. Download the Oaklawn Sports app to check out all the details. Oaklawn Sports. Bet with the brand and the name you trust. Hey, a friend of ours, Chuck, I was out on the walk I told you about yesterday.
Yeah.
And beautiful day.
Beautiful.
And I get a text from our mutual friend, Brandon. And he said, look at the number 4 horse in the race at Gulfstream. So I did, and the name of the horse was Mattingly. So just like
we know what Brandon was doing yesterday. He was playing the horses. I was going to say, if he called you with a tip and didn't call me, there was going to be a problem.
The name of the horse.
I got you.
So,
I understand.
So, of course, it finished third.
Yeah.
It showed.
Yeah,
That's about all we're good for.
Yeah.
The Mattingly show.
Yeah. It's a nag.
But here I am on a walk. Well, I got to put something on that.
Did you?
It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think I won, $5.
What'd you do, like $2 across the board?
Cheeseburger. 3.
Yeah, 3.
So I won
three across.
I won $6 on a $9 bet.
I was going to say, that's big.
Finished third.
You only lost $3 on the bet.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's winning.
Yeah.
That's winning. Oh, man. The women's basketball team hosting Florida tonight,
that's
6 o'clock at Bud Walton Arena.
Monday Night
If you
Basketball.
want to get out and watch Izzy Higginbottom, who was one of the top scorers in America.
Cal's shows tonight.
Wow,
Live
that's
with
going to
Coach
be good.
Cal on the air.
We
with
haven't
Coach
even
Cal.
gotten into the Luka trade.
I know.
What a weird deal. We'll get into that tomorrow, too. A lot to get to this week. It's going to be a heck of a week.
What were they thinking? The Mavericks.
And they did it in the dark of the night, like behind the church at midnight, that thing went down. Chuck and Bo Show, happy Monday.
Having great vision enhances every part of life. That's why I go to McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's a pair of readers or LASIK surgery, you know you're in good hands. You've heard former quarterback and now coach Ty Storey.